Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm Emily, digital content manager here at Wingnut Social. You might recognize me from past mini news sessions, but I'm here to fill in for Darla as she's out for the next couple of weeks, taking care of some family things. So I'm here to fill in. So, housekeeping, I think that's what she usually starts with, right? Are you subscribed to Wingnut Social on YouTube? I want to know because if you're not, you very much should be. That's where we upload all of our monthly webinars and the video versions of this very podcast that you're listening to right now. I don't know about you, but I really like video content. I like to see a visual when I'm listening to things. So I love YouTube. So if you're that type of person too, where you like to watch video along with what you're listening to, go ahead, subscribe to us on our Wingnut Social YouTube channel. We'd be happy to see you there. And of course, Wingnut Academy. So be sure to sign up for updates on our website because it is coming and it is going to be worth the wait, I promise you. If you're interested in a full course on how to strategically market your design firm on Instagram, this is it. This is for you specifically. Okay, that is about it for housekeeping. I think you know what time it is.
It's time for mini news sesh. Yeah.
So, Lisi, what have you got for us today?
So, today I am talking about YouTube Shorts, and YouTube has been around forever. It's shocking that they're still around. Not that they're bad. I love YouTube. It's just crazy because typically platforms don't survive this long. But they released YouTube Shorts, which are short form videos similar to TikTok or Instagram Reels, and they've been around for a little bit now. But YouTube recently released some information about them, which is really mind blowing for me. They said that 1.5 billion with a B of their monthly users are using shorts. So it's pretty insane when you think that their monthly users are actually 2 billion. So like 75% of their users are using shorts right now.
Wow, that is crazy. I think YouTube is the platform that I use the most. I love YouTube so much. And I gotta say, I don't really use shorts. I don't know if you do.
I actually don't. I was looking at them when I saw this article. I was like, okay, maybe this is something that I need to like hop on. And I actually went on, and it was my first time using YouTube Shorts, but it was exactly like TikTok or Reels. And I mean, TikTok is successful for a reason. It's kind of addicting, but it's interesting to see because what I think is happening is, people are using shorts and then it's taking them to the user's like account and then they're watching their longer videos and really getting them more reach that way. So I think that it's really a good thing to be for creators to be using right now. But yeah, I think I'm going to start checking out some YouTube shorts now.
Yeah, same. And I like what you said about it kind of being like a gateway to the longer form content because I know YouTube uh, at the end of the day is a long form content platform. That's what they were founded on. That's what they are today. So I really do think I agree that they're using this as kind of a way for content creators to kind of promote their longer form content and get people introduced to their actual long form content. So how do you think interior designers can use these YouTube shorts?
Really any way that interior designers are using Reels or TikTok right now, I think is a good way for them to use shorts. And basically, if there's any videos that take a little bit to give a design tip or kind of put photos of your designs together. I feel like YouTube is probably really pushing their shorts right now. And then, if you do have a YouTube channel, which in order to post shorts, you need to. But if you're posting longer videos, then, it's a gateway. It's going to get people into your videos. And then you could post like longer videos of whole projects. And so these shorts can kind of lead the way into that. So I feel like there are a ton of possibilities with YouTube shorts.
Agreed, yeah. So everyone, if you have a YouTube channel just sitting or kind of sitting around, experiment with shorts. See how that goes for you. See if you can get people to go from your shorts to your actual long form content. Yeah, experiment with it, see how it works, and you might be surprised at the new subscribers that you'll get. All right, well, thank you, Lacey, for being on today's mini news, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Mini news sesh. Yeah.
Hey there, Anne Gillyard. Welcome to the podcast. How the hell are you?
I am doing great, and I'm very excited. So
We're excited too. Full disclosure, you are a Wingnut client, right? So
I am.
I'm so thrilled to have you on the show. We've been kicking this around for quite a while. And what you do extraordinarily well, I mean, you should be like in Wikipedia next to niche or niche, however you want to put that. We're going to dive into that and tell the audience why that was such a game changer for you and your business. But before we dig in, just tell us a little bit more about who you are and how you help your clients, and we'll get started.
I co-own GrOH Playrooms, and we specialize in educationally based children's interiors. So my background is like just deep in education. So I was a teacher. I taught teachers. I wrote a national curriculum. I did a bunch of stuff, and I lived and breathed it for forever. And my passion was early childhood. And when I had my own kiddo, I was like, this is really hard for parents, and I want to make it easier. I want to make play easier. But we can't ask grown-ups to do one more thing. So what we do is we create the environment that teaches, that helps families spend time together, that helps kids learn and families really build that relationship that every grown-up wants, and especially the busy professionals that we work with. They have such little time. We want to carve out that physical space that makes the time they do have filled with joy and color and fun and a lot of play.
So you know what I love about you is that not only are you niched, I'll pick one, I promise.
We'll go back and forth. It's gonna be great.
But you have a niche within your niche, right? Not only are you specializing in playrooms, hence the name hence the name GrOH Playrooms. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, right? And it's more from an educational standpoint and stimulating neurons and growth and all that stuff, which I don't understand, but you do extraordinarily well. So let's wind this back a little bit and talk about the journey into deciding that this was going to be a design niche for you in the interior design industry, because it's so specific. It's so laser focused. Let's talk about your thought process going into that.
Yeah, I feel like it was almost just directed to me. I'm coming from this, I'm coming to this from a pretty unique standpoint where I had a very specific specialty. I worked with leaders in the early education field for years and years. And so did I want to do interior design? Yes. Did I ever think I would end up there? No, not really. We actually ended up starting GrOH as a homeschool curriculum company, and I would have never admitted it at the time, but that's how it started. And so what we really realized was that, again, parents couldn't handle one more thing on their plate, and so the way to help them is by creating that interior space, and actually exterior space, just a whole home environment that makes play super easy. But I think where we started to really niche was okay, it's okay to actually say, no, our expertise is play. It's not family rooms. It's not whole home family living situations. It is really where kids are central and spending a lot of time in that space with their family. It's not the quote unquote family room where kids are sometimes invited in, right? But we don't want them to mess up that furniture. No, that's not what we do. We create family rooms, playrooms, bedrooms, outdoor spaces where the intention is to live and breathe and move around with our kids. So that was kind of the journey. It is a little bit unique because we didn't come in as a full service interior design. We kind of came through a side door to interior design, but within our own special way, we did have to make that commitment. We did have to make that definition of like, no, this is what we do, because we did play around with other spaces. And
Did
it
you?
didn't, yeah,
Okay.
we did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did. We were brought in as the playroom folks, but then we built a kitchen. We've done bathrooms. We've done, we've done almost it all.
Did your kitchen have climbing walls?
This particular one didn't, but it did have a lot of snack drawers. It's really critical. We also built in a step stool. Very important for independence, okay?
Yeah, these are little glimmers of what was to come, right? Okay, so let's talk about that a bit. So when you started to do the playrooms, did you think to yourselves, you and Jodi Arellano, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Your partner in crime here at GrOH.
Yes, she is my partner in crime.
Did you say, well, playrooms in and of themselves, that's just a little too small. There aren't going to be enough people. Let's do kitchens. Let's do living rooms. Let's do all that in the very beginning?
Yeah, that is a little bit of how it went, was like this scarcity mindset, right? Of like, I just don't know if we can survive just doing this thing. So if a client is like, oh, eventually I want to do this and this and this, we would be like, oh, we can do that. Like, sure. No problem. And we'll do it from a family perspective, right? Which I do, like, honestly, we offer a lot. We offer that perspective, but that is not where we thrive, where, like, once we committed, right? And once we continue to still refine and commit, because it's a process, it's totally a process that we're still in. It's gotten so much easier. We've found more of our ideal client, all of those things that anytime you talk to someone who has niched or niched, it says, like, we are experiencing for sure.
You're finding out that it's a big world out there, right? And there's enough business and there's enough people, enough clients, enough parents seeking the value of what you offer. And that's really important when it comes to niching. Not only are you positioning yourself as the go-to person for that playroom, but you're actually also letting them know what the deliverable, what the value is. And you're on an emotional level as well, for parents who are, love their children, want the best for their children. And not only are they having some place where, go play, kitty, but it's developing them in an emotional, mental kind of learning based kind of way, which I don't understand, but you do.
I can nerd out about it all day, but yes.
And you do. So how are you getting that messaging out there that is reaching your ideal clients to say, this is GrOH Playrooms. This is what we do. And it's not just kitty rooms. It is kitty rooms on steroids, and they're like the best. Walk us through that. And if you're out there in the audience listening, try to parallel this with the niche service that you're offering.
At first, we were really, we were like, oh, word of mouth it's going to be our game. It's going to be everything we do. A little background, we had committed to doing commercial spaces only in December 2019. So a couple short months later, we were like, well, no one's going to a commercial play space, maybe ever again, right? The pandemic hit and we were like, uh-oh. So we had to massively pivot to residential spaces, right? So, and word of mouth was not a thing. So we were, at that point, just like doing everything that we could to get the clients to do what we needed to do. And the couple of things that we did to get the word out was invest in photography. That was the first thing we did. Like as soon as we could, like we didn't pay ourselves, we paid a photographer and we invested in great images. And then as soon as we could, we were on social media, but then as soon as we could, we hired that out to professionals, to you.
I was going to say anyone we know.
And so we're so grateful because just the difference, the change, who we're able to show our work to. It was a tiny little speck compared to this huge audience now, and it's just affected affected everything, and it's allowed us to niche and allowed us to establish ourselves as go-to experts, as this quirky lady who knows a lot about Lego and like all the developmental things around Lego building, who also happens to like build massive Lego walls, right? So that, and we've gotten, I would say 98% of our clients through social media. And only now are we getting referrals because parents are feeling comfortable enough to invite other kids over for play dates. So now we're seeing that come up.
You guys blew up like crazy quick. And I've alluded to a client that we have that is super brilliant on video and how important video it is. And now that you're here, the cat's out of the bag. It is you guys. If you guys need to go over to their Instagram, not only is it beautifully managed by Wing, but Anne and Jodi both, but Anne is mostly on the video, are just terrific at the video. So if you doubt that video is impactful for your business and marketing your business, check them out and check out their followers. I think you guys had like 4,000 or some odd last year, and now you're at what, 35, 36?
Yeah, we're like 36 and climbing close to 37. And I think when we hired you, we were under 4. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now that is not par for the course. That is a terrific case study, but that is just terrific. And I love it. And we see the direct messages coming in daily, several daily, asking about you and asking about your services. So you're a terrific example of using social media, especially Instagram in our milieu, right? The aesthetic design space. Is so impactful for that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, you did mention before in the intake and in the green room about industry partnerships being beneficial in order to help you focus in and be successful with the niching. Can you talk to us about that?
From a couple of different levels. First, I'll talk about the level of just serving our clients. Right? Because we build this strong relationship with our clients, we become very close. We're talking about their most precious thing on this planet, their kids, right? Like it is the thing that the human that they have built and grown and cared for and want to continue caring for and giving everything that they can, right? So we are involved in one of the most precious aspects of their life. So we develop very strong relationships that lead to the questions of like, well, I was thinking about this kitchen project, right? But I don't want that anymore. But what I do want to do is take care of my clients. I want to be able to provide them with partnerships, to bring in my partners to say, we don't do kitchens because what we do is playrooms. What we do are your children's bedrooms. What we do are your outdoor spaces where you can have family time. But what my partner here does is kitchens. What my partner here does is landscape architecture for your outdoor kitchen, right? What my partner here does is gorgeous primary bedrooms and bathrooms. And so in that way, I'm still taking care of my clients, but I'm establishing those boundaries of like, no, this is my niche. This is what we are known for. This is what we are experts at, and this is how we'll take care of you. But in general, we're gonna make sure that your dreams come true.
I love that. How are you finding these designers and these partnerships in these niches that you're, know, like, and trust, that you would recommend them to your clients? How are you getting out there and getting them?
So it started out as like a couple of clients brought us in at the same time as an interior designer. Right? So we ended up collaborating, and then we fell in love with each other. It's like, oh, you're so good and you're so good and we love you. And we built this relationship, which I love doing, just like both Jodi and I are all about building relationships. It's that educator in us. We're like, let's make friends, So we make a lot of friends.
Play dates.
I know. We just want to have grown-up play dates all day. So that's kind of how it started. And then those people are introducing us to other people. And then we build those relationships. And what we have done is go into formal relationships of like, here's how referrals happen between us. And if you give us a referral, because they also can then go to their clients and say, I have this resource. I have this person who is an expert in their field. I have, GrOH, and they are going to take care of you in this aspect, and I'll take care of the rest of your home. So it becomes a reciprocal relationship where we both can benefit our clients and then also each other.
I love that. And that gives them the best of everything because they'll get an expert in kitchens or an expert in this and not just a general service where, it's the same in pretty much any industry that you're not niched, you're not laser focused. You might be good at a lot of things, but maybe you're not best at that one thing. And potential clients know that. They receive that message. They're more likely to hire a specialist for certain things than not. I love it. So it can't all have been rose-colored glasses and and fun along the way. Did you ever have a time that you were like, oh, maybe we're making a mistake or this isn't the right thing?
I am the head of a playroom company, so I'm not going to curse.
You could, though, if you wanted to.
I know. I listen to your podcast. I know, but I am a tenacious human is what I will say. So there were times when I was really tired. There were times when I did say one of our first jobs, it was just me and my business partner who was 8.5 months pregnant. and so I was up on a ladder painting a mural on a ceiling by myself right before Thanksgiving at 8:00 at night. And I was like, what am I doing? Right? What am I doing? But I am a tenacious human, and I had a goal. And yes, there were hard times, and yes, there were those clients who are very challenging. But it's those, I like to call it going to school. Those clients take me to school. And sometimes those clients that it's a really hard class. Sometimes it's an expensive class. Sometimes it's a class I don't enjoy very much, but I'm learning so much along the way. And the growth that we've experienced, the amount of reflection we've been able to do along the way, I've never seen another option. Not doing it wasn't an option, and not kicking behind was also not an option.
Yeah, which you are 100% kicking behind. What's your waiting list look like now? I know you have to have one.
Yeah, we are. We have clients booked through the next 6 months. So we still have some openings here and there, and we're hiring another designer so that we can keep things flowing. But yeah, we are busy, which is great.
I've told the story a couple times on the podcast. When I first started out with my interior design business in Miami, I sat down with Nicole Heimer, and she wanted to see if I would specialize in anything. Because for interior designers that do general interior design, do kitchens, do living rooms, which is where I was at, I never really niched down to that. She would say, well, what makes you different? What sets you apart from other interior designers? And I struggled so much with that. And I never really came to an answer that, before I switched over to Wingnut full time, that I was completely satisfied with. I would just be like, I make rooms pretty and functional. So what would your best advice be out there to that designer who's listening, who's trying to say, well, what would my niche be in? That worked for them. They're great on video. They have Wingnut or what have you. What could you tell the audience from a personal standpoint to just say, get out there and niche, and, it might be scary, but what would you say?
I would say to pour yourself your favorite beverage, whatever beverage it is, whether it's an adult beverage or a not adult beverage, but give yourself some time and space and think about, what is it that really lights your fire? What is it that you can sit back and it takes you the least amount of energy to brainstorm about? It energizes you. When you complete that aspect of a project, that's what you're very, very, very proud of. And I think also thinking about niching in the back end systems too, right? And how can I make my experience special? right? Like how can I, one of our specialties, because I think we can specialize in all aspects, right? But like one of our specialties is communication. Right? Like, what is the thing that they're going to experience with me? What am I very proud of? What makes their lives wonderful and easy to work with me? And then that can also go in your marketing materials of like, you'll experience this, right? But then in your kind of day-to-day practice, what do does tile? Do you love tile? What areas of the house do you enjoy tiling the most? And then those are the clues, right? And if you can just do that after every project and say like, which part of this project did I actually enjoy the most? Which part of this project did I find the easiest? Because that's also it for us, right? We did a kitchen, it's gorgeous. Custom cabinetry, we had all of the like snack drawers, we had the step stools, we had all the specialty things that would create independence for kids and make it easy for families. Was it successful? Yes. But did we love it? No. Did it light anyone's fire? No. Do we love tile? Not really. Do we, and was everything successful? 100%, because we're tenacious. But at the same time, it wasn't easy. It wasn't fun. We just were rhinoceroses that just charged through it. Like we just
Kitchens aren't fun.
No.
They're not fun for me either.
No.
In fact, my fiance and I, we're remodeling our kitchen here, hopefully in the next few months. And I'm working with a kitchen designer. It gives me no joy. I'm too busy with Wingnut anyway. So I'm working with a kitchen designer. I have no shame. There's no shame in that.
No,
right?
Not at all.
I love that. That's terrific advice. So, and I did tell the audience on this episode and several others how amazing you are at video.
Oh,
so
thanks.
Since you're so great on camera. I remember when we first sat down when you came to us at Wingnut to inquire about our services, I was like, you're great on camera. This is going to go somewhere. You're going to be on HGTV, mark my words. All right. So what are some tips for doing the reels and the stories and the video that you have in there for the designers listening? It's not related to niching so much, but you're just so good. I want to give them that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I just have to say that it is, listen, okay, back up. It's funny because my business partner, I am creative, like the creative department, and she is the everything else. She is our legal, she is our operations, she is our finances, she is, and like, goodness gracious. But when we first started out and it was just two of us around her dining room table, she was like, we need an Instagram. I'm like, no, so take it from me, someone who fought it, right? Like someone who did not want to do it. I did not want to do video. But it has propelled the business, the Instagram. It is what has helped us survive the pandemic and switching from commercial to residential. It's the only way that we survived. And so I give it a lot of credit. But I would say the biggest kind of things that we have discovered that has been so helpful is one, batching. And everyone says batching, right? But like, what does that mean for interior designers? And the way that we do it is on photo shoot days. We stage before and we take photographs the next day. So on those staging days, I show up and I plan on spending 2 to 4 hours there shooting 12 reels.
Wow. Okay. Smart though.
So, and because it's something new for my audience to see. It's a new background. It's exciting. I do all my trending audio there. And I have other people on the team send me trending audio, so I'm not also like looking for it. And then I just bam, 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 bam. Someone on my team just follows me around. I make a silly fool out of myself. We have a lot of fun, and then we go home, and then I have that content, and I infuse for me that expert information, that educational information into the reels, and they become fairly successful. So
yeah, you do that balance really well. So you're fun, you're playful. You say you make a fool of yourself, and Do you? Maybe. I mean, that's open to interpretation, but you're also incredibly knowledgeable and educational, and they're highly entertaining, and they're so addictive. They're just so well. And so that speaks to being yourself, on camera too, and that helping you to attract those ideal clients or the people who like what it is that you're putting out there. If you were up there and you were trying to do anything else or be fake or something you're not, they would not click as well.
And there are audios that I like, but I'm like, that's not me. That's not my brand. And then you just don't do them. You just don't do them. You don't publish them. And then I also, on the photo days, I do really slow room pans so that I can then create just like looks of the room through reels. And then with stories, I'm still working on my rhythm. It's always a growing and learning situation, but right now my rhythm is like I put my kids to bed, I go downstairs and I shoot a story in the same chair. It's about the routine, right? Like I sit in my orange chair in front of my giant fig tree and I tell a story. And that's the way that works for me.
Consistency is key. Yeah, consistency and getting on there. And this has been terrific. You're such an inspiration, and you're killing it. I'm so impressed with you and what you guys are doing, you and Jodi. So, is there anything that I've forgotten to ask you with regards to niching that you think the audience needs to hear before we get into the What Up Wingnut round?
I don't think so. I think it's just about like being brave and taking a try and giving yourself the time and space to think about what would, if you could do one thing, like what would you have the most fun doing, and giving yourself permission to make that your one thing.
I love it. All right. Now I have to ask you, are you ready for the What Up Wingnut round?
100%.
Now it's time for What Up Wingnut.
What would the hashtag on your tombstone be?
Hashtag 900%.
Wow. Okay, I believe it. Watch your videos.
I can explain that, but I don't know.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Well, it's I am a recovering perfectionist. I am super tenacious, and I just feel like I want to give not 100%. I want to give 900%. It's become a running joke.
But also not 1,000. So.
No, that's too much. You have to sleep sometime, okay? You got to sleep sometime.
You're stuck on a deserted island, but you can have your favorite food forever. What's it going to be?
I think that it is going to be strawberries. I don't know. I might die of like not enough nutritional value, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Strawberries have a lot of vitamin C, so that covers you on the scurvy front.
There you go. That's one thing.
Last but not least, please recommend a book that has impacted you either personally or professionally.
Anything by Mike Michalowicz. I am an avid business book reader. I just love taking in information, and so Profit First, Clockwork, all of those things have just massively impacted my business and therefore my life. And I really enjoy his books.
I love him. I'm actually interviewing Mike Michalowicz in, I want to say a month or two. He has a new book coming out, so stay tuned for that.
I will.
Anne Gillyard, please tell the listeners where they can go to find out more about you, and we will call it a day.
Well, definitely check out all the video on Instagram at GrOH Playrooms, and that's GrOH, like, oh, and then Playrooms with an S. And so you should check us out there. And then our website is the same, www.groplayrooms.com.
I love that you said www. That's adorable.
You're welcome. I'm old.
And thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing.
Thank you. You are too. This was really fun.
Thanks so much for joining us this week. Darla will be back in the upcoming weeks. But for now, you can head to Wingnut Social's website for all the guest info, all the show notes, links on our amazing guests, and more. And we will see you next week.